my favorite thing about a camping holiday is simultaneously my least favorite thing about a camping holiday, which is just hot tent, I guess you could say, hot tent syndrome. So like, it's really nice to like, you know, be risen by the sun, circadian rhythm, but then also there's nothing worse than if you've had a few drinks the night before waking up in a hot tent. I think maybe the biggest cause of making a hangover worse is waking up in a hot tent.
Matoti Bay in Northland was the most exceptional experience. The beach is phenomenal, but Matoti Bay is a really interesting campsite because it's become quite a heritage campsite. Like, a lot of people have been going there for 20, 30 years, and they have these most incredible setups, and they kind of take you in as a family and include you in their 5 o'clock drinks. And it was a real cool New Zealand community. So Matoti Bay was phenomenal. In fact, they even took us out fishing through the day, you know, just strangers that we met at the campsite. So yeah, and that was actually with a 1.5-year-old at the time, my little boy Brando, in a camper van driving around the bulk of Northland. The other thing that makes camping easier is doing it with like more than one family, and then trying to pack in as much as you possibly can. So you've got to fill the boat, the car, but you also have to take a trailer. And if you think you might need it, take it. And that includes fridges, because you can run a pretty nice multi-board. Anything that you can bring is good. But then if you run it as a multi-family system, if you don't have it, someone else might. Yeah, so, and I think that comes down to the fact that I'm terrible at packing. So what I do is I pack, but then I just rely on others. You need to have at least one dedicated camper. You know, everyone's got that friend that is a very good camper and they have everything. You need to find that person, get them in your lives, embrace them, hold them close.
We fill our backpacks up with cooking stuff and way too much food than we need, lots and lots of snacks, lots of chocolate and things like that, and we just go away, go out of range, and go hiking. In the summer, we usually try and go up to Northland. I think it was last year, we did the Te Paki track, which was awesome. It was just a few days walking along the coastline all the way up to Cape Vanga, and then camping on the beach, just watching sunsets and sunrises. It's one of my favorite things, and yeah, I'm all for camping. I know that it's not for everybody, but I don't know, there's just something about sort of being completely disconnected from the outside world. I love that there are places in this country where there's no internet and, you know, you're just completely checked out. If you're wanting to hike and camp, go as light as possible. And I actually think you need to invest in good gear. When I first started, I kind of packed all sorts of things that I thought I might need, and because my gear wasn't that great, it was a little bit heavier, and it really does affect your whole trip, because if you're lugging stuff up hills and things like that, it really is quite hard work. The other thing is I never skimp on food. So I don't do dehydrated food. We don't take, 2-minute noodles. We don't do anything like that. I'm that idiot who hikes up to the top of some hill and then pulls out a whole head of lettuce. But it's just, I think, really important to have really good food. It's one of my favorite things to do as well in the summer when we're camping, tramping and camping, is cooking this ridiculously bougie meal in the middle of nowhere with our little camp cooker, and enjoying it in the middle of nowhere while we're watching the sunset.
We try to get to Waihi Beach as often as we can. Love Waihi Beach. It's always been a really beautiful beach. And so, when my wife and I got together, that's where we'd go, and then we have kids and we take the kids there, and we've got really good friends of ours who live in Tauranga. And so we sort of meet sort of part way there. Normally it's not so much camping grounds as such. It's we like hire a house and we would do that way there. But the odd time we have done the camping ground. And what I love about the camping ground experience is that you go to the camping grounds and there's a trampoline, and all the kids congregate around the trampoline, and they make lifelong friends there. And each summer you try and go back there, so the same families are there. So that's really quite cool too.